The number one question that people ask me is, how can I go from good to great? Because so many people that come into my world, they're really hardworking, they're ambitious, they've had a modicum of success, a little bit, but they're spinning their wheels and they want to go from down here to the next level. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to show you this path, this step-by-step blueprint here that's going to help you go from good to great. Here are three of my clients that have achieved this. Okay, first of all, Vince Del Monte. He went from a good information product business owner to scaling to his biggest year ever last year after he did a few things that I'm going to share with you in this presentation. And then there's Isabel Price. She came to me as a broke, struggling nutritionist who had to put her coaching on her fiance's credit card at the time. And she now works from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. because she has put these systems in place and she has built an 8-figure business. And then there's Big Joel Marion there on the right. Man, that guy is a legend. But he was once, when I first met him, he was making $42,000 a year as a struggling high school teacher, and he just sold his business for nearly $100 million. So that is definitely going from good and having an impact to great and having a massive impact. Now, the first thing that they all had in common was the fact that they had a vision, a clear vision, and a defined success, okay? Very, very clear definition of what success looks like. So when you say, I want to go to the next level, that is so vague. What does that mean, the next level? If you're a pro baseball player, you know that going from to the next level is from single A to double A to triple A to the show. It is a very clear, defined success. We know when we have had success because we've reached that next level. But for you, I want to know exactly what does it look like. And that's where we go when we break down and we have you create the movie of your life. And the movie of your life is really writing out this vision, this what is your life going to look like in the next 3 years, so that you can tell me, I'm going to be living in this house, I'm going to be driving this car, my family is going to be this, we're going to be living here, the business is going to look like this, we're going to have this many employees, this is the impact that we're going to be having, these are the charities that we're going to donate to, this is how we're going to be involved in the community. Okay, great. That is success. Now I can guide you on that. I can give you that straight line to success. But if you say to me, I want to go and get to the next level, I'm like, great, here are a million things that you can do to get better, but they won't be the best way to do it. So we want to have the definition of success for you. And we want to make sure that you are not creating a definition of success based on other people. If you don't even want to have a car, let alone a fancy, fast car, like so many of these internet gurus tell you to go and get, then don't put it in your mind as part of success because it doesn't matter to you. So knowing what matters allows us to not do what doesn't matter so that we can keep you on the straight line to success. Okay, so I want a very clear definition of what the next level looks like for you. Even I went from good to great because back in the day when I was, had the 6-pack abs and I had Bally the dog there, the little chocolate lab down in the corner, that was great, but I was lonely. Successful entrepreneur. That was good to me, but that was not great. Now in the picture on the right, you see I have my wife, Michelle, Daisy the dog, now that old Bally is in doggy heaven. We have a baby on the way at the time of me making this video, so soon we'll have our family. That's great. That's great. The business has also grown, but what really matters is that I had a very clear definition of success had to look like for me. And I would much rather have my family than scale my business to $100 million. I know some guys who have sacrificed family life, who don't have kids, who have gotten divorces. That's not great. To me, great is having the family life and the business and the freedom, because freedom to me is like my number one core value. So I knew what mattered to me so that I didn't go and chase shiny objects that some of my other friends chased because they didn't have a definition of success for them. So you need to have that very clear vision and defined definition of success of what the next level looks like, so you know that you can focus on what matters and what does not. Okay, give yourself permission to say no, because if you want to do great things, you have to do fewer things. So think about it for family, health, wealth, and your personal experiences in life. What do you want to accomplish? All right, because one of the things I want to mention here is when you are going and chasing what other people believe in life is success, then you see that. So the shiny objects up there in the top right, that is where you think the grass is greener on the other side, right? So you've got this black heart of envy. You see somebody has this fancy car, has this big house, or does something and you think, oh, I guess that's success. And then you go and chase that, and you can destroy your entire life because you say that you want this, but in your heart, you really want this. And so your actions and your true goals are in misalignment, and you end up not going to the next level. You end up going down a couple levels and your life implodes. Okay. So down at the bottom there, it kind of outlines what coaching is, which is outside eyes. And then the mountain peaks is holding you to a higher level, and then accountability as well, which we'll talk about at the end. Now, the next thing you need to do after you have a clear vision and definition of success is have clarity on the constraints. What is your big bottleneck that stops you from getting to the defined next level of success? So you know exactly what the next level of success looks like, and you're here and you want to get there, but you keep on running in to a bottleneck, a constraint, a glass ceiling. What the heck is that? So now what we have to do is we have to do a audit. We have to go and look at what are the constraints on you. Is it a matter of strategy? It is a matter of tactics. It is a matter of people. So in your business, is the strategy that you're taking wrong? Have you chosen the wrong marketplace? Have you chosen the wrong price point? What strategy is the constraint? And if it's not that, then maybe you have a great strategy, you have a great idea, a great price point. You understand the market, but the fact is you don't have people who can execute on the tactics. Maybe you don't know how to run Facebook ads, or you don't know how to do email marketing, or you don't know how to do public speaking. Okay, so that's just a matter of a learnable skill or hiring the right people. Or maybe you do have the right people who can do the tactics, or maybe you have people who can do the tactics and execute the strategy, but they're not a good culture fit. Maybe they're all about themselves. Maybe they cause a lot of drama. Maybe they fight with one another. Well, you've got a people problem in your business, and that's stopping you from getting to the next level, or maybe staying at the next level. Maybe you get up and then you go down, you get up and you go down. So you need to identify which one of these is the constraint, and then we can start attacking it. So let me talk about Vince's story in particular. 3 years ago, pre-pandemic, Vince had 3 businesses that were all doing about $1 million. He had a supplement company, he had a fitness info, and he had a mastermind. And I said to him, listen, Vince, you can't have 4 jobs, because Vince also has 3 kids. Well, it's really 5 jobs. He has 3 kids and he's happily married. So he's got husband job, he's got father job, he got supplement, he's got mastermind, and he had info products. I said, Vince, you can't have 5 jobs. And so, listen, you can have 3 jobs. You can be a great husband, you can be a great father, and you can have one of these businesses. And so we knocked 2 of them off, and then that removed the constraint from allowing him to grow. I had another client named Joe Marcoux, and he had the distraction and the diversion of travel. He was traveling too much, which didn't allow him time at home to focus on scaling his sales training business. So we need to do a detailed diagnosis of the bottleneck. Is it a distraction? Like, do you have a whole bunch of things like Vince did? He had too many businesses. He couldn't put all his focus on one, so he couldn't grow them. He could only grow them like a little bit. But when you knock a few of them off, now you can put laser focus on one business, hit it in the bullseye, because most people go through life with a shotgun scattered approach, right? It's all over the place. Well, you're never going to knock out the bullseye if you just have little BB pellets. No, you got to have a laser focus and shoot right in the bullseye. With Joe, he had a diversion. He had too much travel, which did not allow him the time and the space, the mental space and the space on his calendar to focus on growing his business, which he could operate at home, which could scale without him being manually doing labor all over the country. So we got rid of the diversion of travel. The pandemic actually helped us because it wiped out his ability to travel, which then allowed him to put all of his energy. And there was a bit of a dip. We actually had to go down 1 level in order to get him up 3 to 4 levels, because the business that relied on his manual labor, he wasn't out on the road, and he had to go and put the time into growing his online business. And now his business is actually 3 times as much. I think he made as much in 1 month as he did usually in half a year, thanks to this change, all because we had the detailed diagnosis and we removed the diversion. Some other people have a lack of discipline. Okay, so you only have one business, you have focus, you have a good offer, you have the skill sets, you have good people. But man, if you aren't ping ponging and bouncing around, bebopping, hip hopping, joking around to all these social medias, you're in these OCD loops, you're binge watching Netflix, you have no discipline. And so that's why I created my Effortless Discipline course, because I basically, I'm known as the world's most disciplined man. I took myself from a broke, struggling, introverted, socially anxious, binge drinking personal trainer to becoming the world's most disciplined man through these systems that I download to you in the Effortless Discipline Bootcamp. Makes you an extra 10 hours a week that you can put back into your business. And if your hours are worth even $200 an hour to you, that's essentially giving you $2,000 a week, so $100,000 in a year minimum. But because of what you do, you're going to raise your hourly worth to $1,000. So this is a game changer for you. I want to share this quote from Les Brown, that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because there you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions never shared, the cures never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step. Keep with the problem, have the discipline to keep with the problem, or determined to carry out their dream. Now, Vince, Isabel, Joe, Joel, all those people, they are not going to go to the graveyard with their dreams still inside of them because of the systems that they put in place to help them get to the next level, the very specifically defined next level for them. And I want the same for you. So achieving the dream of going from good to great is having the plan in place. And we'll talk about the plan in a second. Having the coach in place, the coach who has been there, done that, achieved what you want to achieve, scaled their business, grown their family, stayed healthy and fit, had incredible experiences. That's what you need. And then the accountability. Accountability is a secret ingredient to success. So the good, the great, the first thing that you and I need to focus on when we take you to the next level, that specifically defined next level that we will get from you, is then we need a specifically defined 90-day outcome goal, a numbers-based outcome goal. Then we build 3 process goals. What are the major action steps that are going to get us there? Then we look at quick wins. We want to get momentum and motivation from a 24-hour win, a 48-hour win, a 72-hour win. If you set a goal, or your clients set a goal, or your kids set a goal, and there is not a quick victory, then what happens is that there is a degradation in the motivation. And when you have a degradation in motivation, then you have inertia and no momentum, and everything is so much harder. Now, you see, if you get a win, so if you and I sit down, we set a goal and action steps, and it's very clear about what you need to do. And the same thing, if you're doing with this with your children, and then you do this like on a Thursday or a Friday, and you say, we're going to come back and we're going to start this on Monday. Well, momentum goes like that. The motivation just disappears and you get inertia. And now on Monday, you're like pushing the rock up a hill. But if you get a quick victory, if you and I sit here and we set our goals and we go, okay, what can you do right now to get ahead? Well, now we're pushing a snowball down a hill. And you know what happens when you push a snowball down a hill? A quick victory gets a snowball, and now it rolls and it gets momentum. And it goes faster and faster and faster. And you're like excited to come back and do something in 48 hours, excited to come back in 72 hours. And the next thing you know, you set this 90-day goal and you achieve it in 30 days, all through great coaching and building the plan. So we will go through and build out that exact plan when we work together to get you to your defined next level. And then the secret ingredient to this is accountability. Accountability will move mountains in your life. Okay. So if you have somebody checking in with you on a regular basis, you will do more than if you say to somebody, I'm going to do something, I'll see you in a year from now. You forget about it. It's not front of mind, and you fall off. Again, you have that degradation of motivation, which leads to inertia. And now you're pushing the rock back up a hill. But if you have accountability, if you have to check in with your coach, if the coach is checking back in on you, it's a game changer. Specifically, if you have accountability to somebody you deeply do not want to disappoint. When I establish a relationship with my clients, the ones who are most successful, we have this bond where they look up to me. They're like, man, you're my coach. You've done this. You've been there. You've done that. You've achieved what I want to achieve. You have this great life. You've been everywhere. You're fit. You've got a family. I want that. That's my defined next level. I'm like, great. I'm super excited. You're like a young me. I want to help you get to the next level. You're like a brother, a family member. I want you to have everything that I have too. And so I'm invested in you, and you're invested in the accountability to me, and you don't want to disappoint me. And that is the guarantee for success when you have that in place. If you're a coach, a leader, a parent, you need to have that with, if you're a parent with your kids, if you're a manager or a CEO of a company, you need to have that with your team members. And if you're a coach, then you need to have that with your clients. And when you have that in place, they will move mountains in their life. and they will do what you need them to do. So having that accountability is the final secret. Now, if you're interested in going to the next level, if you're interested in figuring out what does that specifically look like, and then building that 90-day plan and having the accountability to stick to it and the coaching to guide you through the tough parts, then go to craigballantyne.com/apply. Really looking forward to working with you, taking you to the next level. All right. I can't wait to define that with you and help you succeed. All right. So craigballantyne.com/apply, and we'll talk to you soon.